Well, you got that right.
Quit agreeing.
My boyfriend. One of my boyfriends.
My honey.
I was gonna say, which one, yeah.
Sheriff, but you can just happen, you just make sure you take care of him.
Yeah, she's upset with me today.
Uh-oh.
Had a bad day.
And that's different than any other day.
No, it's, every day is the same here lately. Oh, bring me one.
Here.
Me three.
Thanks, close enough. We'll call the Washington City Commission Tuesday, May 29, 2018 meeting to order. First on the agenda is approve the minutes from May 14th, 2018. Everybody had a chance to review them?
I move that we approve the minutes for May 14th, 2018.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion on the minutes? Keith?
Aye.
Kit?
Aye.
No?
Aye.
Yes. Hey, we're gonna jump around a little bit. Some people want to get going. So Susie, we will start with you with fireworks.
Want me to do fireworks first?
Yeah.
Or Riverboat Day?
I think I do fireworks. I
All
was
right.
told by Keith to do fireworks.
Sure. We're just coming, we're gonna be selling for memory fireworks again. And we always just come before the commission and just make sure that you're aware that we're gonna be there and pretty much just get the okay, or
Sure.
just kind of a courtesy, I
Right,
guess, that
exactly.
we always come and tell you that we're gonna be selling them there from June 27th to July 5th. And we'll be same location as the last 15 years up at Krause's.
Okay.
Trailer, everything will be the same.
Same as, everything's the same. I'll make the motion to approve Susie Jacobson for the sale of fireworks.
Second?
Okay, any further discussion? Keith?
I'll abstain.
No, you don't have to.
No,
but
I
all right.
Aye.
Noel?
Aye.
Yes. Okay, now Riverboat Days.
Okay. Riverboat Days is next weekend, June 8th, 9th, and 10th. We're just asking for streets blocked off again. Last year, I believe the city set out those wood barricade or for the streets,
Yep.
and then we set them up and we put them away. And we'll do the same thing this year when, on Sunday, we'll you know, take them down and stack them all up again, if we could get some help to
Set them out.
setting them up.
I think Adam set them all out. He did a good job.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're gonna set out and then, yeah.
He just kind of set them on the corners of the
Right.
streets, and then we set them out, and,
Did you need the travel panels too, or like? for the
yes,
street
we need
dance,
that
or-
too for the street dance.
Okay. So you'll just have to, you know, get a hold of Brian or the committee will, Brian
Okay.
and Adam, and let them know what you need and where you want it, and they'll make sure it's done, so.
And that's the following weekend, right?
Yeah,
Not this coming weekend.
Right,
Right.
right.
I know I was gonna try and get, you know, a power source for the food vendors over there, but
Yeah.
it never happened.
Okay, that was my next thing I was gonna ask on,
So, that kinda got lost in between the, you know.
because that's no longer there behind Shade's
Yeah,
truck.
that's right, it's no longer there. So I guess the guy talked to Brent one time, and he said people can bring generators or something, I don't know if that's
Mhm.
still gonna work, but either that, or maybe we could possibly get Weber to, he's got those power boxes, you know, he could get Otter Tail to hook it up, kinda like the old ones, but it would be sitting on the ground, so that's an idea too.
That would be great. I know we're gonna talk to Lindell Law Office to see if we can't use their water. We used it last year. Some of the vendors like to have water hookups, wash hands, and, you know, things like that.
Maybe if you guys could talk to Weber and just say, hey, you know, is it possible to, you know, hook up a box? You know, and I know Otter Tail has, I'm sure they would be more than happy to do that. I talked with Clay about it a little
Yeah.
bit, so. I'll kind of leave that in your hands, if
Sure.
that's okay?
Yep.
Okay. Anything else you need as far as that, or?
I don't think so. Just mainly the street blockage from, you know, our parade
Right.
route.
Mhm. Yes, we did get a parade route, if you want to refresh us on that real quick.
Okay, so they're gonna start lining up Catholic Church, I don't know, what's that street, going up to Senex? North Gate?
Mhm.
Okay, that's where we're gonna marshal at, and then it's gonna come down, and then go down Sixth Street,
Okay.
down to Main,
Mhm.
and then to, it would be 6, 7, 8, 9, going up at
Right.
that dock shop?
Yep.
Yep, going up 9.
Okay. Same as always, right?
Same, yep,
Pretty much. Okay.
same as what we've had the last few years.
Okay.
And,
Yeah, we'll try and get the guys to sweep the street before and after, so.
okay. So if we just talk to Adam then, or Brian, and
Yes.
tell him where we want all those,
You know, and that would be best, just contact them and tell them what you need and,
okay,
you know, kind of like always. so.
okay. Okay,
That way it doesn't get lost in translation, so.
sure.
Anything else on that, or
I don't think so.
anybody have any
I-
questions?
I
or-
think it's all, I think it's good to go.
Okay, all right, sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah. Who's the band?
The Roosters.
Whoever that. Okay.
Fargo.
One thing I'm not in charge of. I don't know where, I don't know where they're from. Are they from
They're pretty
Fargo?
good.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about them,
They
so.
play a lot over at the Windbreak and stuff, but
Okay.
might have been there a couple times.
What is the date of this dance, parade, street dance
The 9th,
on July 9th?
June 9th.
June 9th, okay.
Yeah. Next Saturday.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Suzie.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, Scott's Hardware. I know Claudia has places to go. You should have something in your
I
packet.
brought a package over. Basically, what's going on is to put the air conditioning in. Our building property line is actually the building on that side, so just basically asking for permission to pour a approximately 4 by 8 foot or 10-foot concrete pad to set our AC condenser units on. And as I said, it's kind of been done before because the original AC and the gas and stuff is already on that side.
Yeah, right.
So just asking for permission for that.
I will move that we allow them to pour a pad for the air conditioning units.
Second.
Any further discussion on that? Keith?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
Kip?
Aye.
Norm?
Hi.
Yes.
And then the other thing, the bottom of that is not something now, but just to kind of bring aware to, that at some point in the future when the city's looking at having crews in to redo sidewalks, it would be nice to be able to concrete that whole side, or either a sidewalk and then like gravel and landscape between the sidewalk and the building. There's a lot of people and kids and strollers and stuff in the summertime walk down that street
Mhm.
to go to the park, Maine.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to maintain this the way
Yeah.
that is. But I understand it would be when you're doing other work, not
Right.
asking for it now. And then the other project along with that, with concrete work, would be between our building and the Memorial Hall. Right now, the drain gutter system that they put up last year is all busted, and when that poured, it floods my basement. I know that there's issues on the foundation. And our property there is about dead center there. So if when they had the crews in there and had it engineered to have the slopes to the middle and the slope to the alley, that would be something I'm definitely willing to split the cost on.
So
Well,
did you say
go
there's
ahead.
no gutters on that side?
Well, there is, they had some plastic PVC pipe.
It's all
and
busted.
Kind of went in.
Yeah,
and
there's a bunch of it
froze
busted
and
now.
busted.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
There's a bunch of it laying all over the ground.
It's a mess, plus it's a garbage, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
you can't clean it out.
Right.
And it's really hard to maintain and mow in there, and I try the best I can to. When we bought the store, it had trees in there this big around and stuff this high and bricks and rock and glass. But yeah, it would be, again, understanding that when the city is doing other concrete work, that we could discuss it at that point and do it in.
I mean, it's something to look at, and then, you know, we'd slope it so
Right.
everything would drain out,
Yeah.
you know.
That's why I don't want to say, hey, I'll do it, or I want
Right.
somebody with engineering to put it in there right,
Right.
but would be willing to split half the cost of it.
Well, we'll put that on the list if possible.
Yeah, that's kind of all I'm asking on that, is so that when that happens, that we don't forget it until after it's already done, and I'm going, oh, no, I missed it.
Okay.
That's all I have. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thank you. Bill, you wanna get out of here right away?
I got like sitting there, so.
Okay, then we will go to cystic fibrosis, gaming permit for Captain's Cabin.
They have this every year, right?
Yep.
I move that we approve the Cystic Fibrosis Association gaming permit for the Captain's Cabin.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Any discussion on that? Keith?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
Kit?
Aye.
No? Yes. I don't know why, but they gave us a check for $100, and I don't know why.
Well, that's just the processing fee, that usually goes for the city auditor.
Really. Not that I know of.
Oh, okay. That's just if there's no fee associated with that here, I can just take the check back with me.
Well-
But that's my knowledge.
That I don't know, because I asked the Legion, about there, and they said they've never paid a fee.
Okay.
So, and I've tried to look it up, and I've never found a fee, so.
I guess we just went off, at all our sites in Bismarck, Mandan,
Did you pay a fee last year?
yeah, we paid a fee in the past, we've
You
done it
have?
twice now, yeah.
We'll check into it, okay, and if
Sure.
it's not, we'll give it back to you.
Okay, and if you guys have any questions or concerns, I do stop by if there's anything that needs to be addressed.
No, I think it's going well.
Well, thank you very much.
You bet, thanks. Okay, and then we have, Captain's Cabin tent dance for Riverboat Days, Friday, June 8th. So I will move that we approve the tent dance for Riverboat Days, Friday, June 8th, at Captain's Cabin.
Second.
Any discussion on that? Same as every year. Keith?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
Kip?
Aye.
No? Yes. Okay, and then we have a special event permit, Captain's Cabin, June 9th, 2018, at Lewis and Clark Conservative Center. It's for the class of 1968. There will be no one under 21 there. So I will make a motion that we accept the special event permit for June 9th at the Interpretive Center for the Captain's Cabin.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on that one? Keith?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
Kit?
Aye.
Well, yes. Okay, then we've got Cooner lot joining, that's 1253 Custer Drive. There was a planning and zoning hearing on that at our meeting today, and the planning and zoning recommends yes on the lot joining. Taking two lots and joining them into one. So with that, I will make the motion to go with the lot joining for 1253 Custer Drive. And that, you did get a map
Yeah.
on that in your stuff. so-
I'll second that.
Okay. Any discussion on that? Keith?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
Kit?
Aye.
No? Yes. Okay, boat dock access, Bill Tryon.
Got me fired up first, just hang on a minute.
Come on, Mr.
Thank you.
You betcha.
This said the boat ramp, it's not the boat ramp, it'd be the handicap ramp.
One straight down by the ferry.
One straight down by the ferry.
You want the fishing pier?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
okay, not the boat dock, okay, the fishing
No,
pier.
the boat dock.
I wasn't sure the way I got the thing, so I wasn't sure which one it was, okay. So you would like access to that, correct?
With my wheelchair.
Right,
We've talked to our engineers about this, and I thought they were working on something, some options.
I know we had talked about it. Is it the surface fill, or is it the slope, or is it everything?
The slope is fine as long as there's concrete or asphalt, but these things will not go on sand or gravel.
So it's probably gravel right now is what it is?
There's nothing, it's grass.
Grass.
Oh, it's gravel, oh, really, oh, okay. So,
We have
grass,
gravel,
Okay.
I think the last time we talked about it, the concern was pulling that dock over whatever we poured would crack, or is that the concern? When you pull that up for the winter time?
I don't think it would be, but I can't remember talking about it.
Yeah, we did.
Engineering was gonna look at the
Specifics.
slope but I think it just kind of got forgotten.
Yeah.
Well, I thought we had mentioned something about the slope wasn't bad or something, or...
The slopes are not that bad. I can run buzz right up at it if I had that kind of way of getting there.
But it just depends on how firm that gravel,
Right.
weather conditions. If it gets
Right.
muddy, well, then it's loose, or if it just gets graded, well, you know how loose gravel is.
Yeah.
So, but if you get some rain on it and gets packed, then it's not so bad.
It needs solid.
Yeah.
He needs solid.
Right.
Solid.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Not-
And I know we were talking about maybe putting some of the millings, if we had any, on that going down, because that's a little bit better.
I just think if we're gonna do this, we should do it right.
Concrete.
You know, I think we need to do concrete, and I don't know if we need to have our engineers, or if we just ask for estimates, but it's something that we should do.
I'll look at it, and then, let's see, you're building the grounds, right? You and I will look at it sometime this week.
Okay.
Or when we can, discuss it and come up with something for the next meeting.
I know there was some thought of maybe taking the floating fishing pier and sliding it down closer to the ferry boat, because we had cleaned out an area, and then you don't have that, it'll drop the angle by like 15 feet, so, for access. So you have a shorter distance, and something that you can just, something to consider when you go down there and look at it.
Wasn't the handicap access, that's right by the ferry, right, for like you guys to park to get out and get on there?
I just
So,
run my other wheelchair down there and back from the house.
Hmm.
Or do me deal for fishing pole and carry my minnows in my pocket.
Well, we'll take a look at it and see what we can come up with, and then, yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
This year and next.
Well, this year, I know you want fresh fish, so,
Well, I seen those full of them on there and kept fish. That's why I want it done.
I know.
Thank you, gentlemen.
You bet.
Thank
Thank you
you.
guys for
Thank
coming.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Sioux Ferry painting project, I believe, Reese, you wanted that on here?
Yeah, just to discuss that. So June 14th, there'll be some volunteers available. We talked about it at our last meeting. GRE and Blue Flint Ethanol will provide a few volunteers. City will buy the supplies through Wagon Wheel. They're gonna estimate it. I was curious if we could solicit either through city or park board, someone to manage the project. What would help is if we could, pre-scrape or work on it just a little bit. We'll have a 4-hour window for volunteers to come in. And I just don't know if we'll have enough time to scrape and paint, so just wanted to round table discuss any options we have with city employees, park board. What can we do to facilitate
I
this
think Park
thing?
Board has a lot of summer employees, right? How many do they have?
Well, we have 3 for the park maintenance.
I think you guys would have more time.
Yeah, I've already volunteered to kind of be one of the people to help get these organized.
Okay,
If anybody else wants to help out.
But I know our guys want to get going on tarring and everything, so
Will they-
our guys are busy, so.
so
Will you
then,
guys do the scraping then, or no?
We definitely,
You can do it,
Start.
yeah.
yeah.
Perfect.
'Cause
right now they're getting, parks were looking kind of crummy because we sprayed. We didn't want to mow before we spray, and then we got to let it set for a little bit to kill the weeds, but
Right.
we got a lot done today with you guys.
Okay, so all that work.
By then, we should be well caught up and be able to
Okay.
definitely help out and get that project started.
Okay.
So we can utilize the volunteers when they get there to.
Yeah, even, you know, it would be, even if a quarter of the thing was scraped to get it rolling and, you know, people on the paint and then scrape. But Wagon Wheel is gonna provide some suggestions on paint, that was another thing. So they said we have options for paint, oil, water-based, of course. What had we done in the past? Does anyone here know, or is that like a Tom Neary or,
Tom Neary probably.
he talked a little bit about repairs prior to. I think we just do the biggest bulk of it, and that'd be painting at
Right.
this volunteer day, so.
Well, I think whatever you guys come up with, I mean, it's fine, you know, but, I mean, definitely want to get something good, we don't, you know, we don't use, you know, barn paint, you know, want to make barn paint as good as.
Actually, they have some stuff that's considered type of, kind of like a barn paint. Because I bought the Johnson, Dennis Johnson pump, and I was just down to the Bearwood, and I had sprayed. And then I hired, Patrick Oshon, come over, because I couldn't do the painting. And that was 3 years ago, and I haven't had nothing come on.
Really? Cool,
And it
okay.
was, what it has is, it's got a built-in primer to it.
Okay.
So you can just, you scrape it down to the wood, and you
Okay.
And that
might
was,
have to give it 2 coats, you know, but.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
that was water-based.
Yeah, and it's a water base.
So then for, you know,
And you can buy it
safety for
in
volunteers.
5-gallon buckets,
Okay,
so you can save a little bit there.
Right.
okay.
Yeah, good.
So offline, we can network to,
Yeah.
so it's
So I'll
June
line
4th.
that up with Wagon Wheel to make sure that they have that product
Okay.
available.
Sure. Good. Sounds good.
And then
June 14th?
June 14th, yeah. And what does the city think about maybe donating some of those supplies to the park board? Or, you know, if we buy scrapers through Wagon Wheel, if we buy some of these things, materials?
Park board deal?
We've got scrapers and stuff.
Okay,
Well,
All we're gonna need is,
not sure what you're asking.
tray pans and rollers.
Well-
I mean, we've got the roller, but just
Matt.
the miscellaneous.
yeah, so the idea would be that we're walking in with it with zero supplies before park board had jumped in to say they would help. So we would have bought some supplies from Wagon Wheel, miscellaneous scrapers.
Yeah, we said we were gonna pay for the supplies, so.
Right.
Whatever they need, so.
But yeah, what can we do with those supplies when we're done with the project? Is it,
Well, they can have them if they want them, I mean,
Sure.
Park board can have them, sure, that's fine.
okay,
You know, 'cause they probably got benches and stuff to paint, or something, yeah, that'd be good.
sounds good. Yeah, no motion, really, just conversation, so.
Yeah, 'cause we already motioned this anyway we
Yes.
did this last time.
Yes,
so.
just some details, wanted to talk about.
Okay. 1905 courthouse?
Yeah, that was on from last meeting. The question went to that steering committee that how soon could Nate and JLG provide that option 2 estimate? Rhonda,
Mhm.
his response?
Okay,
Run to get up there.
yeah, run to get it.
Larry doesn't like them, you know.
That's right.
Do you guys have this letter, or is
No.
this just, oh, okay.
That's the email I sent to
I'll
you.
read it.
What? I don't want to read it. Just give us a summary.
Rhonda,
Give us
read
a
it.
summary.
It says, to get the ball rolling, I have reached out to Hazardous Materials Survey Testing Company to get a quote on the survey portion of the work. As a reminder, we would not have the removal cost estimates available until after we know the extent of the hazardous materials, if any. They said they should have the survey quote this week, which will be this week now. And says once they receive the quote, I'll update the proposal to include their costs along with assistance and time required in procuring the hazardous material testing. As you may know, the survey and abate of hazardous materials would not be a service that is contracted by the owner. However, as the architect, we can certainly assist you with the review and interpretations along the way from an advisory position. So they'll get the proposal to us no later than May 31st, and after that, it'll be like a week or two that they can
So they could do it right away.
do it right away.
Yeah. So
Once we
we're
get a
thinking
proposal.
quarter 2. With that, you know, we don't have a line item for budget for that project. So after that, bid comes in, likely we'll have to amend the budget to move some of that money from general fund over to buildings and grounds, 4160.
If I may, Reese.
Absolutely.
I looked, and buildings and grounds is general fund, so I don't think you need to, unless you guys overspend your general fund this year, I think you can just use that buildings and grounds. I know you can, I guess. You have the capacity in buildings and grounds. If you overspend it, then you would need to amend the budget.
Right.
And I think there's $15,000 on a line item in buildings and grounds for
the Sioux Ferry.
Right.
And that
Do you
that
think
price,
they'll spend?
no,
But
not on.
we
I think
had to
there's-
put away money for that courthouse.
We did.
Yeah, oh, we did.
When you say put away money, what
Well,
does
in the
that?
budget, we put it in the budget.
In 2018's budget?
No, in 17.
Yeah, I think
And we
that's
didn't
what
use it.
happened, is it
We
got
didn't
put
use
set
it.
aside in 17, didn't get used, so now you have a new appropriation
Yeah.
you're dealing with. But it did look to me, after, I didn't have
Yeah.
that in front of me, but it looks to me like you have room in that buildings and grounds budget under the Sioux Ferry project, because you guys have indicated you're not gonna spend that whole 15,000.
Right, and that's, we don't know the estimate on those supplies, but that balance would be available for this project, depending on that quote. So I was offline talking with Linda about how that looked, and the option to amend because it wasn't in the 18 appropriation, so just trying to cover bases and do it
Yeah.
right.
And yes, and that was my conversation with Reese, is, you only have to amend, not if you go over a certain line item in the general fund, but if you go over the general fund as a whole
Mhm.
by the end of the year. And that new financial reporting that you're getting should help you track that.
Right.
You'll know where you're at,
Right.
and your new auditor will be able to kind of follow with that too. But you don't need to amend at this point, because
Right.
none of those dollars have been accessed yet, so.
Sure.
Right, sure.
So the short answer is that you can do the work soon, we just don't know that final estimate.
Yeah, we haven't got to the proposal yet.
Yeah, they'll rebid that proposal based on this as consideration potential, and then that'll come in front of the commission at that time.
Then we did receive that $1,000 grant too.
Yes, yep.
So it'd be 14,000.
I would like to get a copy of that for everybody, probably, so, is this a copy, or?
Oh, it's an email. You can have
Oh,
it.
okay, thank you very much. And I'll make sure everybody gets a copy of it, so.
Sure.
Okay. Anybody have any comments on the courthouse, anybody? The courthouse?
So the minimum of it's gonna be is 15,000, where it could be more.
Minimum's 14, we did have a $1,000 grant that we secured, or the steering committee secured, so.
So they're thinking it's gonna be more than the
He
14?
was going to
No.
reevaluate it, and maybe it'll come under less than the 15 that he did back in November, or
Yep.
whatever, when he came up with concept 1, concept 2.
But it doesn't include any costs after that, and I think that's essentially what that's
Because, yeah, we
saying.
made sure, when we talked with Nate, we made sure that there wasn't no hidden costs gonna show up later, because we wanted to know everything.
So we're hoping it'll come in less.
Yeah. Has anybody checked with the Historical Society? I mean, they got money, they wanna divvy into this, or?
Well, we have Cody on the
Yes.
steering committee, and,
We visit with them, and it depends on the city's building, so it's like, what do they want to do with it?
I understand that,
And
but
then-
it's their stuff that's in it, so,
Right.
you know.
Oh, yeah.
And
No,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
they're involved,
Yeah.
but it's a matter of, what are we gonna do with the building, are we
The
gonna,
Historical Society will be meeting June 5th at 10 a.m.
Okay, okay.
yeah.
they would like to see it preserved, of course, yeah.
I think we have a lot of potential to engage them. If the assessment comes back good and we're doing the right things, they'll add to the actual rehab project, would be my personal assumption.
Yeah. And then they'll use their resources to help maybe try to draw in some more funds and so.
Yeah, like I said, I'm really concerned, because we had talked last meeting about, it could be $500,000, real easily, and believe me, I would not be willing to commit to even quarter of that, quite honestly, because I think we have more stuff in the city we need to work around,
Well, I think that's why, I think just this general inspection, to find out where this building is at, and get a real valid inspection.
Right.
So then we have an idea of, okay, what's gonna have to take place.
Right.
And try to get a timeline of, if you do start a maintenance project.
Right.
Or if you say it's, it's.
I thought we did that already.
cost-worthy, And then you're gonna have to,
I thought they come in and went through that building already to get a structural and,
There was, we voted for the free pro bono option 1, which was a concept design. And so he did come in and he measured footprint
Give
and
us a
drew up plans
floor
of what
plan
it
and what
could
ideas
be.
could be.
Yeah, this is the assessment to say, hey, this building is in XY condition. We either say it's rehab ready or it needs to be torn down. We did also some research with just the General Historical Society, and you can't just, if they would come in and say, yep, that thing's condemned, worst case scenario, the state needs validation of that as well. So this assessment kind of helps on both sides of this. It'll help us to rehab and it'll help us to justify the other way, yeah.
Okay.
like, our committees went over the worst case scenario.
Yep.
Say if their recommendation is to tear it down, okay, the city's gonna have the expense of tearing it down also. So, which, you're gonna, that's not cheap either.
No, won't be $500,000.
No, I'm not, I'm just saying, it could run into.
I know. Well, believe me, I know. Yeah, nothing's cheap.
Ultimately, the goal is to rehab it.
Right.
It's a focal point for the county and the city, but
Okay.
So who does this company work for? The company that's going to come in and decide?
it's JLG there.
But they'll bring in their, when it gets turned over to other contractors, so once they get turned over to those contractors, JLG is on.
But they're not an umbrella of the company that's going to do the work, are they? Okay.
No. So we'll just get a quote and find what's wrong, and then we can hire a local or whatever.
Okay, so we'll wait for the new bid and address that at our next meeting. Okay. We'll take it around. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bid for retaining wall, 316 Main Avenue.
Yeah, that needs to get done. I move that we approve the bid to finish up that retaining wall on 316 Main Avenue.
Can we say not to exceed?
Yes, not to exceed the quote.
Yeah.
What did that come to? Do we have it?
1,000, he actually gave me a contract today that said $1,000, not to exceed $1,000.
Okay, not to exceed 1,000.
Okay. We have a second.
One second.
Okay. Any other discussion on that? Keith?
yeah,
What?
what was this for again? I apologize.
That's a retaining wall on 316 East Avenue where the Osnago used to live. They did that, remember they did that sidewalk that come down?
Oh, okay,
And that
okay.
retaining wall's been bad for,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
it just needs to get done,
Yeah.
so.
I see, yep.
Okay. So, Keith,
Aye.
Reese,
Aye.
Kip,
Aye.
Norm?
Aye.
Yes. Okay, Memorial Hall stage steps, what that is, it's just a reminder that, okay, they have been ordered, and we have a check in here for $800, which is our share to pay for that. And we're gonna get it sent out right away, and hopefully we'll get them by the end of June. So, they're gonna be, if anybody wants to see a picture of them, you can pass it around, 4.5 feet wide and handicap accessible, so. Chicken ordinance, we tabled it, I think we should table it again, I don't know who's got time to look at that, but unless there's a discussion on it.
Well, my only concern is that, we're kind of dealing with the dog issue, and then are we just kind of adding another issue we're going to have to deal with later? Well, you guys will have to deal with later. Just because, you know how that goes. It's fine if the person's responsible that has them,
Right.
but my concern is that it's going to end up being somebody else's issue, possibly, just so we're aware of that.
And I think, my issue is we don't have an ordinance preventing it right now.
Okay.
So, and that's why I think if we're gonna do anything, you know, we should at least control it or say no.
Yeah, and just so we
You know,
have in our mind that when we're thinking about it, think about worst case scenario, you know. Does look good?
Reese, did you look like you had something to say, or?
No, I agree, yeah, if there's nothing there,
Yeah,
then what?
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right, I mean, because most livestock is limited by ordinance, but, you know, chickens are not, so.
Well,
And that's, you know, why, so I figured, you know,
Yeah.
maybe we can get ahead of it a little bit, because a lot of people have been asking about it, so. Okay, anybody else have any comments on that? What? What?
Can I ask, how
Huh?
many chickens are you talking?
Well, we don't know yet, but we're thinking of 4. We don't know yet.
So they're pet?
Well, people want eggs.
I've raised chickens and you need at least 20, because they don't lay eggs every day. So you're gonna get 1 egg every other day.
So you're saying we should have 20?
Same. If you want 3 eggs a day, guaranteed, you're gonna need about 20 chickens.
Saying if you want eggs, move out to the country and grow 'em.
All lay it.
Agreed.
I
Thank you.
just-
Thank you.
Raised chickens.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're dirty, stinky.
Yeah.
The hell would I want one next door to me for?
Well, like I said,
My
people have
opinion.
already
It's my own.
started, so it's like, okay. Okay, health insurance contract.
Are we approving this? Is this kind of the plan?
We can approve it, or we can table it. It needs to be done by June.
I guess if this is what we're planning on, I mean, you think about it, it actually went down in price, and so did the schools as well, so I don't see there's an issue
And
with that type of thing.
we have the good plan, and you will never get this again.
And just so you know, some of the other insurance companies actually went up.
Oh, really?
Sanford went up, I believe it is, quite a bit.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think that'd be a good deal to,
Yeah.
it's going down.
Okay. Motion from anyone, or?
Just for discussion, I'll say I motion to approve, to go with the comp choice from Blue Cross and Blue Shield for 2018-19.
Okay.
But if some of you guys wanted to, you know.
Which is the current plan that we're on right now,
Right.
correct?
Yeah, no changes grandfathered in outside of the Affordable Care Act, which means you don't have to implement all of the things in the Affordable Care Act, which saves premium. It is I believe, $100 deductible, 80/20 plan, and what they said it's a very good plan. You can't buy it on the market anymore. It's a really good deal for the employees.
And Blue Cross and Blue Shield, like I said, went down with
Yep.
their rates.
Yep.
I'll second the motion.
Any further discussion on that? Keith?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
Kip?
Aye.
Well,
Aye.
yeah. Okay, then we got the 2016 audit. Linda, would you like to comment on that?
I'll give it right back to you. I guess I just briefly talked to you guys a little bit about my review of the audit at the last meeting, and recommend that you do approve. And here's a little bit of a time sensitivity issue is, we didn't understand that there was some kind of a response they were looking for from the city so that they could finalize the financials. I did review the financials, Larry did also, and I told you the last meeting, saw nothing remarkable in them. They made some journal entries, made some recommendations for journal entries, which are typical. That's kind of what you're paying them to do, to create the true financial statements. And I'll work with Rainey on those when she gets here, starting next week. So my recommendation to you is that you do approve the audit based on my review, and Larry also, actually, Larry reviewed it before I did. And then the final draft report, or the final report, they said they do in print or in writing copies by your next meeting.
So we need a motion to approve the audit.
I'll move that we approve the 2016 audit.
Okay,
I'll second that.
okay, any further discussion on that? Keith?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
Kip?
Aye.
No?
Aye.
Yes. Okay, A2F, they have nothing. New business portfolios, Keith?
No.
Reese?
Library is having a board meeting as we speak, and then Airport Authority has one tomorrow night, 5:30 at the airport. That's it.
Kip?
Nothing.
No? I have nothing. Linda? Anything in the audience?
I had one quick question.
Yes.
You mentioned a planning and zoning meeting, when was that?
It was today. We have planning and zoning on the first and third. Yeah. Well, unless there's a holiday on Cobalt Tuesday, so, yeah.
Okay. I didn't know there was a set schedule for that, we usually just give a notice for it.
Oh, you do? Oh, I didn't know you got a notice for planning and zoning.
Yeah, so I was just wondering.
Okay, I'll make sure that you get put on.
Just as a heads up, because I
Okay.
never knew, I mean,
Oh,
I think
okay.
they kind of tentatively are the first and
They
third,
are,
but
yeah.
usually we get a notice, because they're usually not every first and third.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. I will make
Yeah,
sure.
no, that's fine, I just figured I'd point it out.
Okay, yeah,
They're
thank you.
usually
Okay.
not super dramatic, but.
Well, they're not every first and third. It might go 3 months before you have it.
Exactly, I
Okay.
mean, we haven't had one for
It's been a while.
a while, so, yeah, no, that was
Okay,
helpful though.
right, okay. Anybody else? Dennis?
How does the city feel about the siren tower between the courthouse and the museum?
What now?
The siren tower?
Oh, yeah?
The Historical Society would like to know if the city would be willing to take it down. We sent an email to Reed.
Oh, no, I didn't.
When you do that, you should send it to all the commissioners, because then, we can see it, and then we can speak on it, Why do you want it down?
Because of the noise, I suppose.
Because it's annoying, or it's ugly? But tell the truth.
Well,
Okay,
but is there a stipulation on they gotta be placed at certain spots so the whole city
It's
can
not
hear it?
used.
it's not being used.
Oh, it's not used.
It's
It's
the
a
old
tower.
one, and
Oh,
it's got bent leg because it's been hit,
Oh, really?
and it kind of has a low spot in it, so when it rains, the water kind of runs down alongside the building of the museum, and
See, yeah, the bell out here, that used to be up there
Gotcha.
years ago,
oh,
so.
Yeah, 2 years when I had joined 2 years ago joining the commission, talked about that just a little bit and how it was bent. And at that time, it didn't seem desirable to take down. But there is a bent leg on it. It was hit moving snow, something like that, at one point in time.
is that the same area where the tree was taken out?
There was like a bunch of bushes there right now. Yeah, I think there was a tree there. It's in the back between the two buildings. We can remove it, I don't care. When we get time.
Yeah.
Everybody fine with that? I mean, just take it down, get rid of it. Might be able to get somebody to take it down for scrap. So, okay, take care of that. Anything else? Bills? Everybody have a chance to review the bills?
Motion to approve the bills.
Do a second?
Second that?
Okay, any questions on the bills? Keith?
Aye.
Reed? Kip?
Aye.
No? Yes. No other business, meeting adjourned.
The last one was me. Just black.
for the bill.
For the bill.
What do you want?
To forward the letter that you know,